Hey everyone, we're doing a, I hazard to call it a series because it won't be that long, on logging or event components to allow us to debug our programs. There's a few different ones out there, such as multi-log, log for Delphi, which you can also use in free Pascal, I believe. Logger Pro, put a big question mark there. But today we're going to be looking at LazLogger. I'm not comparing these for the sake of saying this one's good or this one's bad. They all have their own goals or ideas, and just to see, and I'm just going to compare them to see which one meets my needs. This is also a I don't believe necessarily in reinventing the wheel unless I absolutely have to, and yeah, so today we're looking at LazLogger, so let's go. So basically the things that what I want to be able to see here is one, I want it to be thread safe. If you're mainly going to do anything that's multi-threading, and I can see, by the way, here that if we do actually, I'm just searching for the word thread here, and it would appear to be thread safe, and I can check I could double check the documentation for that. I want to be able to log to file. I would also be able to like to have different levels of debugging, like information or just debug messages, warning, error, critical. Ideally, I would like to have timestamps as well, and perhaps even a thread ID. So, and the next part of it then is, which is quite handy when it comes to one function calling another function, to be able to have some sort of indentation. Basically, what can we do here? So let's look at some of the functions we would have here. Well, we can, looking at the procedures here, we can debug memory ranges, we can write something out to a logger, debug string calls, debug line calls, debug enter, debug exit, so debug a stack, and so let's have, so basically in my project here, I did have to go into the project inspector, and I did have to add in the Lazarus utils package in order for the unit to be found in the project. And what we can do now is to, well, we better make this program actually do something. So we will go down into here and call that one, and now go into run and build. Just wait a minute, logger's not used. Okay, that's been built, and now let's just run it. And here, without any configuration, it goes, I'm going to be guessing it'll be going to standard output, and you can see here that the messages which were, let's go back to here, these messages here get written out to the debug window, for lack of a better word, or my console. And here is the last line of the right line, saying about to check your Lazarus console or messages window. I have not been able to get the messages here to be output to the messages window. So if someone can tell me what needs to be configured here, unless we go into this messages. Is there a messages window here? Anyway, so like I said, if someone knows what needs to be tweaked here, I would love to know. It's not the end of the world that it doesn't, because ordinarily, if you're thinking about something running on a customer site, it might be preferable if it were to be output to file. So to do that, we're going to look at the second version of our program. And in this case here, if you look in the program, you can see that we're telling it to not use standard output, and our log file name will be that. So LazLogger demo --debug.log. And now we can build this program here. That's done. And now if we were to run the same program again, this one here tells us again to check the window for the messages, and you can also see here now I've got this particular file here. So if we were to view this file, the two messages which were which we put out to the debug statements go into the debug file. So one of the things which I like that I am now, that's the good part of it. I was looking, now it may do this and I'm not quite sure if I'm looking in the wrong space, but if I do search for the word or the string time, I don't find anything there. And if I wonder what could be in Laz classes maybe. Open file at cursor. Hang on, let's go to there again and open file at cursor, and not much there really. What I'm trying to say is I couldn't find anything which would output the time when the message is written to file or when the message was received by the logger. That can be helpful when, if you are wanting to know when things happened in your program. So it doesn't mean that it can't be done, it just means you'd have to input, work out how you can put that sort of stuff in yourself. So that would be, so if we were to go up to here, we could say here that yes, it does go to screen, yes, it can go to file. It does have groups. I'm not quite sure whether groups would fit into here or not, because I just see these sorts of levels as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sort of thing. So I put a question mark there. Because of the one above on this, I really am going to say put a question mark here, but I'm going to say as a level, I don't think so. This one here, I can't see the timestamps anywhere, but like I said, I do know that it does have indentation. So to give you an example of what that might look like, so we're going to add in a couple of procedures, or we'll add a procedure here, procedure foo, and let's do const s string begin and end. And what we can do here now is go now if we were to let's see what we can do here. Debug begin. And what do we got here? Debug line. What's that one? Let's go for that one. Debug line, enter. And what I'll put here now is, if my hint could go away. So what we're going to do here now is to put bar s equals S, and I can, because it's going to be doing that one there, I am going to, if we go and do an enter, then somewhere we would need to do an exit as well. And as you can see here, there's a few variations on a theme here. So whether you want to output one with a bunch of parameters, or you can with an output string, or by itself. I'm guessing this one here would write out nothing. No, debug logger exit. I wonder where that one's going to go. Yeah, it'll just decrease the indent and won't do much else. So let's see what happens. So if I were to do this one here, let's copy these two here, and what we're going to do is to just replace bar with foo here. And why not, what we can also do here is call bar with S plus and now what we'll do is we'll go into here, and this time we're going to call here foo and hello. Okay. So if we're now building the program here, that's been built again. We will now run the program again. It doesn't, the output's no different there, but now when we look at the debug log, it didn't output the value of S. I wonder why. Did I need to put a %S in there maybe? Probably did actually. Let's try it this way. I'm only going to put it in one place just to see what will happen. Yeah, okay. So we'll now go up to here and %S there, build it again, and now what we can do is run that one and then look at that one. Now, honestly, I would have thought that on the begin line end that one would have been indented. I'm not complaining as such, but so we enter this procedure here, then we enter this procedure here, then we exited that one, and then we exit that one. So you can see that the indentation there is working, and that can, like I say, can be quite handy. So we'll put a little, let's put a yes here. Now here are some other functions that you may find, or other things you may find useful. You can view the current indent level. You can also have event handlers for the debugging of messages to a let's say debugging, and also whether or not you want to close the file between writes. Sometimes, you know, that can be necessary. I've had to do something similar myself once. And like I said, most of those debug calls that we've been making are, like I said, simply a wrapper to go into here and then calling one of the debug functions. Now there are other logging libraries which can be used in Free Pascal, which we are going to look at in subsequent videos. So that about wraps up this particular video for the LazLogger. It is a simple yet robust utility. It doesn't do everything that I might be looking for, and that doesn't make it a bad one, but if you're wanting to look at parameters passed into a function and you're looking at indentation so you can see each function being called, etc., you know, it's useful there. If you were to, you could write your own unit as called a wrapper, but some way you can interface your own code with the debug logger. Then you could incorporate levels if that is what you wanted, because you know it is definitely achievable, put it that way, to write your own error levels, or have your own error levels, and then functions to log a warning, log an error, log something critical, etc., and only output it if it meets, you know, the certain level. So this particular item here is they're not surmountable. Timestamps, however, I personally, with something like a timestamp, I would want it to be, let's say, have a date time on the left hand side, or the thread ID, the message, and that message would be indented depending on the, you know, the function. So look, for what it does, it's good, and in the subsequent videos we're going to be looking at a couple of other ones. So until then, happy coding and bye for now. Bye.